Hi boys and girls, moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas, and anyone who loves a good story. Today I'll be sharing with you a story that was traditionally from France, but my favorite author, Tommy DiPolo, who is Italian, wrote it in being set in Italy. It's called The Clown of God. Many years ago in Sorrento, there lived a small boy named Giovanni. He had no mother and no father, and he dressed in rags and baked his bread and slept in the doorways. But he was happy, and he could do something wonderful. He could juggle. Every day he would go to Signora Baptista's fruit and vegetable stall and juggle. He would juggle lemons and oranges and apples and eggplants and even zucchini. Crowds would gather to watch, and when Giovanni had finished, they would buy from Signora Baptista. Then Signora Baptista's wife would give Giovanni a bowl of hot soup. This was a very good arrangement. One day, a troupe of traveling players came to town, and Giovanni watched as Archelina and Colombina, in their beautiful clothes, danced and sang. "Oh," Giovanni said to himself, "that is the life for me." So when the play was over, Giovanni went to speak to the maestro. The maestro was the man who led the plays of the traveling players. No, said the maestro. "I have no need for a ragamuffin, so go beg your bread somewhere else." "But I could be very helpful," pleaded Giovanni. "I could help unpack and pack up. Why, I could even take care of the donkey. And maestro," added Giovanni, "I can juggle." "Not bad," said the maestro, watching. "With a bit more training and practice, all right, but no money. A place to sleep, the companionship of the finest players in Italy, and a bowl of noodles. That's all." "Grazie, signor," said Giovanni. "Go get your things. We leave in an hour," said the maestro. So Giovanni said goodbye to Signor and Signora Baptista and became a traveling player. Not long after that, the maestro gave him a costume, and Giovanni juggled for the crowds. He would put on his clown face and step out of the curtain before the play began, bow, open up his colorful bag, roll out the carpet, and begin. First, he would juggle sticks, then plates. Then he would balance the plates on the sticks and twirl them, and he would juggle clubs and rings and even burning torches. Finally, he would toss a red ball and an orange ball and a yellow ball, a green, a blue, and a violet ball, and it looked as if he were juggling the rainbow. "And now for the Son of Heaven," he would cry. Still juggling, he would pick up a shining gold ball and toss it higher and higher, faster and faster, and how the crowds would cheer. Giovanni became very famous, and it wasn't long before he said goodbye to the traveling troupe and set off on his own. Up and down Italy he traveled, and although his costume became more beautiful, he always kept the face of a clown. Once he juggled for a duke, once for a prince, and it was always the same. First the sticks, then plates, then the clubs, the rings, and the burning torches, and finally the rainbow of colored balls. "And now for the sun in the heavens," he would shout, and the golden ball would fly higher and higher, and the crowds would laugh and clap and cheer. One day, between two towns, Giovanni was sitting in the shade of a tree eating lunch of bread and cheese. Two little brothers came down the road. Now the brothers were ones who worked at the church. They were not little boys. "Will you share our food with us, good clown?" they asked, "for the love of God and the blessings for our brother Francis?" "Sit down, good fellows," Giovanni said. "There is more than enough." As the three men ate, the two little brothers told Giovanni how they went from town to town begging for their food and spreading the joy of God. "Our founder, Brother Francis, says that everything sings to the glory of God. Why, even your jugglers will make people laugh and applaud," Giovanni said. "But that's all I intend to do." "But it's the same," the brothers said. "If you give happiness to people, you give glory to God as well." "If you say so," said Giovanni, laughing. "But now I must be off to the next town. Arrivederci, good brothers, and good luck." And wherever Giovanni went, the air was filled with the flying sticks and plates and clubs and rings and torches, and always his rainbow of balls and the sun in the heavens. And wherever Giovanni went, the faces of the crowd would be all smiles, and the sound of laughter and cheers would ring throughout the towns. But years passed. Giovanni grew old and times became hard. People no longer stopped to watch. "Oh, it's only the old clown who juggles things. We've all seen him before," they said. Giovanni was sad, but he still juggled until one day he dropped. The sun in the heavens and the rainbow of balls came crashing down, and the crowd stood around him and laughed, but not from joy. Then they did a terrible thing. They threw vegetables and stones at Giovanni, so he had to run for his life. Beside a stream, Giovanni took off the clown face. He put his sticks, his plates, his clubs, his rings, and his colored balls away, and he put away his costume and gave up juggling forever. What little money he had was soon gone, and his clothes became rags, and he begged his bread and slept in doorways, just as he had done as a child. "It's time to go home," the old man said wearily, and he headed back to Sorrento. It was a cold winter night when he finally arrived. The wind blew hard and icy rain was falling. Up ahead loomed the monastery church of the Little Brothers. The windows were in darkness. Wet and cold, old Giovanni crept inside and fell into a heap in the corner. Soon he was asleep. It was the music that woke him up. The church was blazing with candlelight and filled with people singing, "Gloria, Gloria." Giovanni could scarcely believe his eyes. So much beauty. A long procession of brothers, priests, sisters, and townspeople, all carrying beautiful gifts, was winding its way through the church. They placed their gifts in front of a statue of a lady and her child. "What is all this?" asked old Giovanni to someone who was standing near. "Why, old man, it's the birthday of the Holy Child," the woman said. "It's the procession of the gifts." Giovanni watched in amazement until the singing was over. Then the church emptied out of all the people and was darkened except for the bright candles surrounding the lady and the child. Giovanni moved closer. The child in the lady's arms seemed so serious, so stern. "Oh, lady," said Giovanni, "I wish I had something to offer too. Your child seems so sad, even with all these beautiful gifts." "But wait, I used to make people smile." Giovanni opened the bag and shook out his old costume. Then he put on his clown face and bowed and rolled out the little rug and began to juggle. First the sticks, then the plates, then he twirled the plates on sticks, and then the clubs and rings. Brother Sexton, who was coming in to lock up the doors, saw Giovanni juggling, and he was horrified. "Father Master," he cried, rushing off to get the priest. "A sacrilege! Come quickly!" But Giovanni didn't hear or notice him. "And now," said Giovanni, smiling at the face of the child, "first the red ball, then the orange, then the yellow, and the green, and the blue, and the violet. Around and up they went until it looked like a rainbow. And finally," cried Giovanni, "the sun in the heavens." The gold ball flew up and around, higher and higher. Giovanni had never juggled so well in all his life. Higher and higher, faster and faster. A blaze of color filled the air. It was magnificent. Giovanni's heart was pounding. "For you, sweet child, for you," he cried. Then suddenly his old heart stopped and Giovanni fell dead on the floor. The priest and the brother sexton came rushing in. Stooping over old Giovanni, the priest said, "Why, the poor clown is dead. May his soul rest in peace." But the brother sexton backed away. With his mouth wide open, he stared at the statue of the lady and her holy child. "Oh, Father," he said, pointing. "Oh, Father, look!" The child was smiling, and in his hand he held the golden ball. So when you wonder, what can I give to Jesus? Remember all the gifts he has given to you. Maybe you're a great soccer player. Maybe you run fast. Maybe you play music or sing. God has given you wonderful gifts. Give them back to others.